Hello, Miami. My name is Alberto de la Reguera. You don't see me around these places very often, yeah, especially as a host, but here I am. And I was very surprised because I thought we were going to have only, I will say, two of the best guitar players I ever seen. And these are Josh Bermudez and Tim Walton. And suddenly I came here, and there were not two, but there were four, and there were two two of the best musicians that I sing. So two times or plus two or four, I guess. So I'm very happy to have you guys here. We're gonna have a very pleasant hour. So here we are, and we want to present the musicians right now that we are here at the bandstand, as Josh Bermudez on guitar, as well as Sting Walton, and Chris Seagraves on bass, and Josh Platt on drums. So Josh and Tim, I think should get a bet for next week or something because they've been here. I think you've been here the last 3 weeks, right? Something like that. Just kidding, so kidding. So here we are on our first song, written by Josh Bermudez, called Overjoy at May. Yes, sir. We are here with a quartet now recently augmented with Josh Bermudez, Tim Watson, uh, Chris Seagraves, and Josh Platt. And now we're going to play one of the classics, Stella by Starlight. Yes, sir. The great cadenza there by Tim Watson of one of the classics. And now we're going to have a few words here, Mr. Josh Bermudez. And Josh is someone who I know for quite a while now, ever since he came. He was, I remember when I was working at the music library, when I was, I remember you were a long hair guy, were completely, yeah, you seem like transported from Berkeley, California or something like that in the hippie days. So anyway, I know it's kind of a silly question, well, how did you start with the guitar? Because I remember when we were at the library, we didn't have anything to do, and we talk about music, about your favorite guitar players, and all that. How do you get into playing guitar? And I know one of the reasons is because of your family, of your dad, right?
Yeah, I mean that's the biggest reason. I have this very vivid memory of I was getting a haircut in a barber shop, and there was a guitar there, and my dad was kind of just waiting for me to finish, and he's playing guitar, and then everybody in the barbershop was kind of around him, and I was kind of mesmerized. I had no idea that, playing a piece of wood with some metal strings on it could have such an effect on people. Yeah, and my dad's been playing, Coltrane and Holdsworth and everything since I was very small. So I guess when I felt like it was time to start taking on jazz, it was already kind of in my ear because of his upbringing. So
Is there any particular guitar player that pricked your ears? Saying, remember when I was young, I'm a guitar player, or at least I want to be. One of my favorite guitar players was Mike Bloomfield. In those days, in the 70s,
Yeah.
a great blues guitar player.
Yeah.
And I used to play with records all the time. They were all scratch. That was in the old LP days. But anyway, is there anybody who actually doesn't have to be jazz? It could be rock.
Yeah. Well, I'll give you a couple names. Jazz-wise, Kurt Rosewinkle, of course, is a huge inspiration. I'm kind of, well, I'm not really, actually, you know what? I'm proud to admit this. I'm very much influenced by John Petrucci. Not so much his solo playing, but more just his like time feel and his like rhythmic ideas and his, I'm always amazed that number one, he can pull it off, but number two, that he's so creative with the parts that he makes. James Taylor. Yeah. His guitar playing changed my life. And his singing. But
well, James Taylor is amazing. I may remember the old records, he made with Carole King.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, Tapestry.
Incredible, yeah.
Those are all classics.
Yeah.
And I heard Tapestry played over the radio the other day, and they were playing the whole album, and it brought tears from my eyes because it brought so many remembers, my girlfriend, so. I don't want to elaborate, but anyway, it was some of the rock players or pop players, whatever. You don't have to be an elaborate player in order to be a wonderful player, because for me, it's what you communicate to the audience. Have to be, has to do a lot with that. Yeah. Anyway, let's move back to your CAB days, and what are any particular adventure that you have here at the Pro School?
Specifically with CJB?
Yeah, specifically, installing with John, and all that.
Yeah. Well, I mean, number one, of course, John Hart was my what's the word? Well, of course, yeah, mentor, yeah, but like he's the reason that I started going to UM, and ever since it's been such an amazing mentorship, and I'm always amazed by how broad his appreciation, understanding, and mastery of pretty much just
He's
music in
amazing,
general, not even just jazz. I mean, of course, his jazz playing is ridiculous, but he's so open-minded and very encouraging and very nurturing, but also very, very real with me. It's like, hey, your time sounds a little weird today. What's going on? And I'm really thankful that I've had that.
It's not what you say, but how you say it. Let's say, as long as, when you have to criticize something, like, hey, you don't do that and all that. All teachers have some styles, but some have a way of transforming that criticism into something real positive, I think.
Yeah, and he's an expert at that. It's like he can in the same breath tell you all the things that he loved about your playing and all the things that could change, but you never feel like it's like an attack. It's always like it's purely constructive and totally welcomed, at least on my part. So.
Yeah, well, at least on my part, what I've seen the last 5 years, this is the best guitar studio I ever seen at UM, and I've been here for 32 years.
Yeah,
and I've seen a lot of, I've seen a lot of good guitar players passing by, but like having all in a bunch during that 4 year span, that you have, when you start, I mean, you and Tim and others, which I can't recall their names right now, but he's
There's a
been
lot
amazing.
of them.
Yeah, I know. Too many to mention. Anyway.
Yeah.
Okay, so now we're going to go over and what's next here. Mhm. Okay, we got another song coming before we take a break,
Yeah.
and let's have. What do you have there, Emily?
Emily, that's right. Yeah.
Alrighty. So here we go, Emily, one of the classics with you on WDNA 88.9 FM. This is you're listening to the U.N. Frost Jazz Hour. Yes, sir. Wonderful, wonderful version of the classic Emily. Uh, Want to mention again with the band, and the band is Josh Bermudez, Tim Walton, Chris Seagraves, and Josh Platt. We're going to take a short break, and we'll be right back. And we're back here, and we're going to play now something that's called Alone Together, one of the classics. Yes, sir. And it was along together by the wonderful group that we have here today. We want to remind you that next week we're going to have Chuck Bergeron and John Hart. That's going to be on March 25th. On April 1st, that's 2 weeks from now, we're going to have Conor Roeder. He's going to have a trio. The week after, Leo Folsom. So the heavyweights are getting together all in 2 or 3 weeks span. And then on April 15th, Martin Bejarano is going to bring his piano trio class. So there you're going to have probably Conor Roeder, Leo Folsom, and some of the other guys. On April 22nd, Eric Stern trio, and then to wound up the year, you're going to have a Philly Capuzzi trio too. So I was watching your resume, man. You really blew me away, Mr. Tim. This is wonderful, man. You play with Ignacio Berroa, right?
Yeah, yeah.
You're Ignacio Berroa. What exactly did you do when I was playing? What you did with Ignacio Berroa, playing the Latin thing, or it was straight ahead jazz?
Oh man, well, we were playing with the great bass player in town, Armando Gola. I don't think it was really Cuban jazz. I don't really think it was straight ahead either. I mean, it sort of had that like 3-generational thing, and I'm honestly not so great at playing Cuban jazz or straight ahead jazz. So, and then Gola just played a gazillion crazy bass notes, and we just went ballistic, pretty much. I don't know what else to say other than that. We just went crazy.
Yeah, it was something that you don't have any name or any label on it. Maybe
Right.
it's just the fact that it was their music, and what they were doing at the time. And also some of your teachers here, you mentioned is John Hart, Ben Munder, Chris Davis, Brian Lynch, Tony Malabay, Martin Bejarano, and Drew Gress. So want to mention anything about your experience here at Frost?
Yeah. Let's see. Well, I mean, I'll just mention some of those teachers. Martin taught me a ton about comping. I took a semester of lessons with him just about accompanying people, and I don't think I had ever given it like the thought it deserved until then. And Martin's just a master at that. Like stuff like, hey Martin, like what's the range of the tenor saxophone? He just like plays it on the piano.
Exactly. Yeah.
Stuff like that. He just has got it down. Brian Lynch hipped me to a lot of really cool music, a lot of really cool books, and he's someone who has the jazz stuff in their bones, really.
Accompany singers, that's another animal by itself.
Oh my God, yeah. Don't even get me started. Yeah.
Yeah, it can be a challenge.
Oh my God, yeah. The biggest, yeah.
Yeah. So anyway, is anything that you want to add here? Or you want to say anything that really stand out of your experiences at Frost for 4 years? You're graduating this year, right?
Yeah, I am. Yeah, although I'm coming back, but let's see, what really stands out? Well, I mean, it's all about the playing, right? Like, I think these groups where we've gotten to really play. This one in particular, this was a school ensemble at one point, but a very good school ensemble, and we really played for real. So I'm grateful for those playing opportunities. I think that's what I'll mention. Yeah.
Well, this group here, is one of made up of some of the best players.
Yeah, it's
Frost,
it's nasty.
And I'm not saying this because you're here, because that is the truth of the matter. And your peers, I say your peers is your teachers. I didn't have anybody at the beginning of the semester, because it was very hard to get players because of the COVID.
Right.
And so the only thing that was allowed was rhythm section. And your name, your names of you four came out more than once, so that you're saying. So it was like, trying to, filling up the whole semester, it was not an easy thing.
Yeah.
And now, hopefully in the summertime, so if you have a group together, you're welcome to stop by. We're probably going to relax. Probably by the summer, we're going to start relaxing. We're going to bring a sax player here and there.
Right.
Those things have to, be a little bit better. So we only have the time for one more. So I want to thank you very much for filling in, and we'll see you when I'll see you. All righty. Yeah, this is going to be. Sorry about that. This is going to be your. This is called Lonely, and written by Josh Bermudez. Take it up. Great, guys. Thank you very much for coming.